Imagine stepping into a place where the past hasn't just been preserved, it's alive. Where streets, cottages, blacksmith forge take you back over 100 years. And what if I told you I could take you back in time, just for a day, and see a town that powered Victoria's railways and coal mines? Welcome to Korumburra, where history isn't just in books, it's all around you, waiting to step out of the 19th century and into your world. So hang in there to travel back in time. Just over 120 kilometers southeast of Melbourne, in the rolling hills of South Gippsland, sits the township of Korumburra. Nestled at the foothills of Stiretsky Ranges, it's only about 90 minutes drive from the city, close enough for a day's trip, yet far enough to feel that you've stepped into another era. Korumburra holds an area of 6.6 square kilometers, which is approximately 660 hectares, which is equivalent to 900 football fields put together. The population of Korumburra is 3,600 to 4,000 people. Now into a little bit of the history of Korumburra. Long before the Europeans arrived, the land around Korumburra was the home to the BUNURONG and the Gunakurnai people of the Kulin nation. By 1840s, European squatters began moving their cattle into the ranges. Farming was tough, the forest was dense and unforgiving, and clearing land meant years of hard, back-breaking work. Now, everything changed in 1878 when black coal was discovered near Korumburra by prospector Samuel Griffiths. By the mid-1880s, Korumburra became one of Victoria's coal mining powerhouses. The Korumburra coal seam was said to be one of the best in the state. In 1891, the Shire of Korumburra was created and lasted until 1994, when it was merged into a wider South Gippsland Shire. The arrival of the Great Southern Railway in 1891 cemented Korumburra's growth. The impressive railway station was built in 1907, and now it is a heritage site, which became the lifeline of the region, hauling coal and dairy products across Victoria. By 1930s, coal demand was waning and Korumburra turned back to the land. The rich volcanic soils and the regular rainfall made it perfect for dairy. Butter factories appeared and the district grew into a leading milk producer. When coal mining finally collapsed mid-20th century, Korumburra found a way to preserve its roots. In 1974, the town opened Coal Creek Historical Park, which is now known as the Coal Creek Community Park and Museum. Spread across 27 hectares, the village recreates life from 1870s to the 1920s. With over 50 heritage buildings, a blacksmith's forge, pioneer homes, a schoolhouse, churches, miner's cottage, its manager's cottage, it's a living time capsule. Today, Coal Creek is more than just a museum. It's the cultural heart of Korumburra, a place where school children, families and visitors can step back into the coal mining days that built South Gippsland. The name Korumburra is taken from a BUNURONG language, which means maggot. While the name hints at decay, the town has done everything but rot. Generations of locals have worked tirelessly to preserve its history, ensuring that coal mining past, pioneer stories, and early township life are celebrated rather than forgotten. Now into the history of Coal Creek Community Park and Museum. It was opened in 1974, initially with the name of Coal Creek Heritage Village. As we enter, there is a museum that keeps all the exhibits of the past. There are various artworks often centered around the themes of local history, pictures of BUNURONG people, textiles and recycled materials. Here in the museum, we also see the Women of Wourray exhibit, the clothings from 1860s to 1920s, including the Victorian era gowns and wedding dresses, gloves and laces that were worn. We see also the models of certain huts and also the old tin cans that were used during those coal mining days. As we step out of the museum, we step into another world of its own. It is like walking into another era altogether. The first building that you see at the left side of you is the Daisy Hartwick's music studio. Miss Daisy Hartwick was born approximately in 1885 in Glebe, New South Wales. She came as a small child to Korumburra in the early 1890s. Her father, James Hartwick, was the first manager of the Coal Creek Mining Company. After she graduated, she became a piano teacher at Korumburra. She was an organist at the local Presbyterian church. This building was originally a railway house at Kuvirup. It was placed on the site at Coal Creek in approximately 1977. The next building that you see is T. Wrench Pioneer Bootmaker. In 1888, Thomas Wrench, his wife Asneth, and their 8 children left the town called Orange from New South Wales and travelled to Lang Lang in reply to an advertisement for a bootmaker. They established a business here in 1889. Thomas's son Albert Wrench followed his father in the bootmaking business. They were closely associated with the growth of Korumburra for many years. They manufactured, repaired boots for miners and farmers of the area. Right next to the bootmaker's shop was the cordial factory. This was commenced by Maxwell in 1890s as a manufacturer of soft drinks in Korumburra. The machineries that you see in display are probably similar to the ones which had been used to produce lemonades in those early days. This display is housed in a building that was formerly one of the 2 houses built in 1890 in Korumburra. Right opposite to the bootmaker shop and the cordial factory is the McQueen's hairdresser and the tobacconist. This building commemorates the McQueen family, particularly Lachlan McQueen, known as Singing Barber, and their contribution to this area. The building showcases the family's history, including Lachlan's barber shop and the war services of his children. For 20 years, he cut hair and shaved beards for the going rate of 6 pence with a cigar which was equivalent to 5 cents in today's money. His 6 sons joined the Australian Army when the World War II broke out in 1939, and his youngest son joined the Australian Air Force between 1939 and 1942. The next building that you are seeing on the screen is the Lands Office. In the early days of settlement, the Lands Department were responsible for surveying, sales and management of Crown land. The building was the original Korumburra Land Office, built somewhere between 1910 to 1920. It was moved to Coal Creek in 1972 and used as a site works office in the early years of Coal Creek's creation until approximately 1977. The next building is an eminent one. It showcases a restored Phaeton carriage built by Robert Boston. This building or this carriage work was actually established in 1893. This factory produced various vehicles, including the Phaeton on display. They built vehicles on order, repairs, and offered painting and trimming services. What you see here on display are the old machineries, the tools that were used, a little bit of history on what the Boston carriage work been doing in the past during the coal mining days. Right next to the Boston Carriage Works is a building which has got collectives of the butter factory that was there in Korumburra, called the Korumburra Cooperative Butter Factory, which was established in 1891. Korumburra and District Cooperative Butter Factory Company Limited was created by local farmers pooling resources to process and market their dairy collectively. This cooperative structure meant profits stayed in the community and the farmers had a direct say in the factory's operations. In the early 1900s, it became a powerhouse of production, and in 1908, the factory produced around 728 tons of butter in a single year, an extraordinary figure for that time. Hence, Korumburra soon earned the nickname the butter fat capital of the world. This company or the factory was considered the largest butter factory in the southern hemisphere, operating under one roof. The factory shut down in 1975 but was disused by Grant and William Crothers in 1991 as Burra Foods. Another building that we see is the Korumburra Courthouse, originally situated on Bridge Street and constructed around 1900s. It was the first building that was relocated to Coal Creek site in 1974. It served as a foundational structure for the heritage village. It handled local disputes, criminal cases, and civic administration. This building stands as an uncommon example of Federation Queen Anne style timber architecture. Another prominent building in sight is the building which was constructed around 1900s in the nearby town of BUNURONG, the National Bank of Australasia. In 1980, this quaint weatherboard structure was relocated to Coal Creek. The front rooms depict the bank teller station and the bank manager's office. Behind them, there's a paymaster's office. The building that you see now is called the Devlin's Grocery Store. What you see is the reproduction of Devlin's General Store, constructed in 1976. This store features the classic cash carrier system named the Flying Fox, which was salvaged from the Korumburra Butter Factory store. The owner was Bernard Devlin and was run by his sons too. This general store was used to buy everything from food to hammers and nails. It was a supermarket, hardware store, and a homeware store all in one. The building right next to the Devlin's General Store is the O. Gilpin Drapers and Distributors. Oliver Gilpin's draper chain, founded in 1895 in Korumburra, stands as a testament to entrepreneurial vision and innovation in early 20th century in Australia. At just 21-year-old, Oliver Gilpin utilized an inheritance from his father's sheep property to establish his first drapery store in Korumburra. It marked Australia's first major chain store business. Right next to O'Gilpin's Drapers and Distributors was the Korumburra Times. It was a significant local newspaper in South Gippsland, established on July 7, 1892 by George Mitchell. It served the Korumburra community for over 80 years. Positioned roughly midway through the heritage village, the duck pond offers a reflective, gentle space perfect for pausing between exploring the restored courthouse or the general store. A gazebo right at the middle completes the view. Right opposite the pond and the gazebo is the building which is called the Kilburn Road State School. It was a one-room schoolhouse located amid cypress trees at Benna, Victoria. Established in 1902, it served the local community until its closure in the 1975. In 2008, the school building was transported on a truck to Coal Creek, a process that involved lifting the entire structure and moving it carefully over rural roads to preserve its integrity. Korumburra Church. Originally located in the rural township of Korumburra, Victoria, it was one of the first buildings relocated to the Coal Creek Community Park and Museum in Korumburra. The church was established to serve the spiritual needs of the local community, many of who were early European settlers. Construction is of timber. The building features traditional elements such as pointed arch windows and a simple functional interior. Right next to the Korumburra Church is the mine manager's home, which was constructed approximately in 1910 at Korumburra. The cottage was built as a house for the mine manager. Remember, I had told you about Daisy Hartwick when I showed the Daisy Hartwick music studio. That she was the daughter of James Hartwick, who was the first mine manager. So possibly this could have been James Hartwick's home. This cottage was relocated to Coal Creek in 1972. This cottage allows visitors to explore the living conditions and the lifestyle of mining officials during the early 20th century. And by the look of it, you can understand it was a pretty basic lifestyle that they had. Nothing too luxurious about the rooms and all the facilities that they had. A short walk distance away from the mine manager's home was the doctor's surgery and chemist. It's a reproduction of the office of Dr. Edward Strahan, who practiced in Korumburra from 1885 to 1906. And right next to the doctor's surgery is a chemist shop which was established by Thomas H. Boozer, a pharmaceutical and manufacturing chemist in 1890s. And on our way to the entrance, we see a large outdoor chessboard complete with life-sized pieces set up near the heritage building, likely around the courthouse and the central village area. It functions not just as a decor but as an interactive focal point, inviting playful exploration within the historic setting. Lastly, we are looking at the Victorian Railways K-class steam locomotive, specifically the K169. The K-class was a powerful and iconic engine, and having K169 on site adds authenticity and historical weight to the village. A ride in the train is available on the weekdays during school holidays and weekends, giving the feel of an early 1900s coal site transport route. This became an operational route linking Korumburra station beginning in 1892. At the moment, there's some work taking place in the coaches, hence we couldn't really enjoy the coal site transport route travel. So we began this journey as time travelers, and now we end it knowing the past is never truly gone. It's preserved here in Korumburra in every brick, every track, and every story told at Coal Creek Community Park and Museum. The question is, when you step into this village, what moment in history will you find yourself in? So the next time when you happen to pass by Korumburra, spare some time to come and visit Coal Creek Community Park and Museum and relish the mouth-watering baked goods from cafes like Kelly's Bakery, a local favorite praised for its coffee and food. And I would be giving you some options on where to stay in Korumburra, basically the Airbnb facility that is available. Please do come around to such towns as these and support the local area and the businesses that are around. I will be coming up with a part 2 of Korumburra Travels, which is going to lead us to a scenic drive called the Aravata Drive, and we are going to see a suspension bridge right next to Korumburra, a place called Lock. So stay tuned for that video as well. So if you enjoyed this journey, hit that like button and share the video with someone who loves discovering the real Australia. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll be visiting more rural towns just like this, diving into their history, landscape and untold stories. And let us know in the comments which hidden town you'd love to see us explore the next time. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep exploring with heart. Till the next time, signing off.